I don't know if this is a proper analogy or not. This is what it felt like to me. We saw Cam Newton get jumped over the weekend, handled his business.
Cam can fight.
I got jumped by Mike Cugno and Samantha Rivera on CBS4, and I just froze. Cam Newton, that dude didn't even look phased as he was getting jumped. And, when you first heard about the video, you're like, oh, these are kids, like little kids in a in like a 7-on-7 league. These were grown-ass men. And Cam Newton was I was just marveling. He didn't lose his balance.
Cam is a big human, Hawk.
I've seen you next to him.
Cam's a gigantic man. People asked me last night. I'm in New Jersey now. We came up here. We got to shoot more for the EA Sports, and we're up here. And I was in the airport yesterday, and people asked me about the video, and I was telling them, I'm like, he's not built like you. He's 6'6". Cam is gigantic. So when they jumped on Cam, it's like we evaluate, Hawk. Like you say, you talk more crap when I'm around. Like I talk more crap when Cam's around because of how big he is.
Yeah, he is a giant man. Wasn't phased. I go on CBS4 last night. I get a prank pulled on me by Mike Cugno with perhaps a little assistance by Channing Crowder and Alejandro Solana. And I just froze up. I should have been swinging haymakers.
Welcome back, Samantha. This has been a special show because we had Solana on, we had Channing Crowder on. Now let's just round out the whole Hochman and Crowder show. We've got Mark Hochman joining the show for the first time.
Yes, actually, wait, no, Mike, I'm so sorry. Our producer, George, is saying we actually have no more time.
We ran out of time?
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm
All right,
sorry.
maybe next time we'll get to Hawk. We're so sorry.
There's just one place.
Hey, what happened? There's a real ending to that.
That's exactly how it transpired on TV.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
how
funny.
it looks.
I saw the
TV.
real ending. The real ending is I stare at the camera and then I say that. What did I say? That was mean. Something like that. I go that was terrible. That was. But I had no idea. People have been DMing me. I put the video on Instagram. People are like, "Oh, you were great in this," and somebody texted me, "You love a good bit." I wasn't in on any bit. I hooked up to be on Sports Final, and then that's what happened to me. Mike Cugno pulled a bit. I was not in on any bit. I got jumped like Cam Newton.
It was funny,
Mike.
Solana?
Sports Desk. I mean, maybe that's why they're pulling a fast one on you. You don't even know the name of the show.
I know what happened was I got slick mouth with that George guy, the producer. I had said Dookie Lang is a better producer on Friday, and he happened to be listening because Mike Cugno had texted me that night that George had happened to be listening, and everybody set me up. Everybody set me up.
I didn't know what they were going to do, Hawk, but I was there with Cugno at the studio, and he was like, "Hey, do you think it would be funny to do this to Hawk?" And I didn't know what he was talking about, and I said yes. And he was like, "But would Hawk receive it right?" I said, "Hawk's gonna receive." I was like, "Whatever you do to Hawk, he's gonna be fine with it." Yes, do whatever you want.
Funny. He told me afterwards. He's like, "I was so tortured by this for the last hour." And I'm like, "Why would you be tortured by that?" He's like, "Well, what if you didn't react the right way?" I'm like, "What?" It's my whole shtick is doing that to people. It was really brilliant. They so yesterday on CBS4 on Face Off, Sports Final Face Off, they had Crowder on there, and he was talking about his comedy show, which we'll talk about this week. He's got another comedy performance Sunday night at the Dania Improv, and Crowder did this media tour yesterday, but he was on the Sports Final Face Off desk at CBS4. And then Solana, as you know, goes. I'm just doing that for effect. Solana, what is it? Sports Desk,
CBS Sports Desk,
CBS Sports Desk. And Solana goes on every Sunday night to talk Heat. So I get this text from Cugno, and it's like 6:30 at night, and he says, "Hey, need you on the Sports Desk tonight, 7:30." So I think, I'm like, for real? Like, I would never say no to him because he comes on the show all the time.
Yeah.
So I say, for real? And he says, yeah, we've got Crowder on. We've got Solana on. Let's do the entire trifecta. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm waiting. And I thought we were all coming on together. But when they had me sign into everything, I see that no one else's name is there but mine. So now my radar goes up a little bit. And I'm like, okay, everybody got their separate segment. But he never sent me anything like, hey, here's what we're going to talk about. Here's it. So I'm thinking, okay, he's going to ask a question or two about Crowder's comedy event. And then it dawned on me that I was bamboozled. If you want to see the video, it's on my Instagram. And I know Samantha Rivera put it on her Instagram. So did Cugno as well. If you want to see the video, that is not acting. When you see the look on my face, like, it's striking me at that moment that I am the butt of a prank that was perfectly executed by CBS4.
It was.
And
Mike did ask me about it, Hawk, and I knew you'd be fine with it. I said,
I appreciate a good joke. That was brilliantly done. It was
Yes.
brilliantly done. And the part I think that makes it the most brilliant is, had he given me a lot more time, I probably would have figured it all out, because I would have texted you guys. Like, I would have figured out that I wasn't in on this. But because he only texted me, 45 minutes before they wanted to tape, and then he told me afterwards, like, oh, I feel so bad. What if you left a dinner early? I'm like, I wouldn't have left a dinner early. I'd do anything for you, but I'm not leaving a dinner early. Anyway,
you put your collar shirt on, though.
It was funny. I have my LL Bean on. I wasn't going on. I wasn't going on CBS4 without my LL Bean.
Yes, it was good. He kind of told me how they wanted to do it, and he really felt bad. He was like, "But Hawk's Hawk's our boy."
Such a nice guy. Like, that's what makes it. Yeah.
I love Hawk to death. I was like, he's going to love this when it comes out. He's going to love what we're doing. And he told me beforehand. Yeah,
it was brilliant. He was so tortured by it, which is why I love Cugno. Like, could you imagine giving a second thought to pulling a joke on me? Like,
That's why I told him, go, let's go, crank it up.
Tortured, though. I loved what Local 10 did with you. So Will Manso and Clay Ferrero, but also Dookie Lang, who's their sports producer, better than George. He had you perform. Solana's ready to cut me off.
I mean, George, he pulled this thing out on you. Let's be honest.
He did.
I mean, you took shots at him, and he put together a masterpiece.
The funny thing was, I didn't know that I was the butt of George's joke. So he's talking to me in my headphones before we start taping. Before he's like, "Okay, you're connected or whatever." And you know me, hey man, I always said you're better than Dookie Lang. I don't care what these guys say. And he's like, "Oh, that's funny." He's like, "Can't wait to meet you one day." And I said, well, if you ever come up to Boca, you will. And he said, well, I live in Hialeah, so maybe we'll meet halfway. And I go, nah, I don't think we'll ever see each other. and then I got to tip my hat. Got to tip my hat to George. What's his last name?
George Perez.
George Perez. I got to tip my hat. He did a great job bamboozling me. But Dookie Lang and Channel 10, they did a great job with you. You performed in front of a curtain, reminded me of The Tonight Show in the 80s, like a big theater curtain. It was very well done. I enjoyed your media tour. You were very overexposed this weekend. I saw you more than Messi, which tells me a little something.
It was crazy. Will brought me in and he said, during the way we were texting, he was like, we have something that, something cool. Like, we're going to do something cool with this. And when they told me the thought, they were like, hey, you got to go up there and do a minute. A minute is nothing. But I'm like, and I can't cuss.
Right, a clean minute.
I got to do a clean minute. Bro, it was like, I said, I went to the bathroom. I'm sitting in the mirror. My wife texted me in the bathroom. She was like, how about you talk about your dad and your arrest? And I was like, okay, yeah. If by myself, if Asia wasn't there, I would not know what to do for a minute to be clean. I was like, oh Lord, they asked me to do a minute. But yeah, it was very cool how Will them set it up. Went on with Donovan. It's funny. It's all the friends of the show. Donovan Will, Mike Cugno. The only one that you laughed at was Jawan Strader.
I didn't laugh at Jawan Strader. I laughed at you being late to Friday's show for Jawan Strader. No offense, Jawan Strader.
No, we don't want Jawan. Jawan's my buddy, but he doesn't shoot on weekends. So I had to come late.
Sorry. I mean, I can't help it if he only shoots during our show.
So four shows in 2 days was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.